the coaches there, like you could just tell that it was going to be the spot that I was going to fit the best in, like, and I just really enjoyed the coaches. They really wanted me, and I just think I was going to have the most success there. So I picked them because I knew in my head that it was where I needed to be.
Welcome to The Journey, a show that examines the sacrifices and hard work our guests have endured to achieve their goals in and out of the pool. I'm Jeff Commings.
And I'm Molly Harmon. Jeff and I are both swimmers and have been so fascinated by the accomplishments of some of the best athletes throughout history. But sometimes we don't always know what it took to get there. And that's what we aim to do here, not only so that we can learn from it, but that the viewers and the people watching can learn from it and relate to it in some way.
Right. So we know firsthand how much work it takes to accomplish the goals we set for ourselves, but often it takes more than just putting in the yards in and out of the pool or saying no to a late night with friends. Some people have to overcome tremendous obstacles to fulfill their dreams. Some dreams that many thought were impossible. And those are the stories that interest us on The Journey. And to that end, I would like to introduce our guest today. He is the new owner of the Missouri State High School record in the boys 100-yard breaststroke, a record that stood for 28 years. It's our pleasure to welcome Daniel Worth to the show. How you doing, Daniel?
I'm pretty good. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. So just to give our viewers a little bit of backstory, I talked about this record in the state record in the 100 breaststroke that stood for 28 years. I was the one that held it for those 28 years. And it's an honor and a pleasure to not only be talking to you now to talk about that day that you broke my record, but to have been there. I actually got to see you break that record, not only in prelims, but to just demolish it again in finals the next day. What are your memories of the day in prelims when you broke that record, specifically how you prepared for that race?
Sorry, my dog is sitting here. Anyway, so that day was really hectic, but it was just like, for at least for the prelims race, I was trying to go in stress free because I had two chances, so I didn't want to overstress myself the first time, and so I kind of went in. I got up on the blocks. I was hearing rumors that you were there, but I was trying to avoid looking and try to find you, but it was just I got up on the blocks and I just went out there and I did my own race. And my prelims race, I think I've told you guys this before. I think it was better than my finals race, even though it was not as fast, because it just felt right. It just felt good the whole time through. I didn't think I made any mistakes or anything, and I went through and I heard the crowd explode when I touched the wall, and it was one of the best experiences of my life.
And you didn't just break it by a couple tenths. You broke it almost by a full second, which records don't get broken by that much. Now, you had just missed it by just a couple tenths the year before.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you, in that year, prepare yourself to make sure that you weren't going to get a near miss again?
Well, as soon as I missed it my sophomore year, I won state that year, but I talked to my coach as soon as he shook my hand. I was like, that record's going down next year, guaranteed. And so it was just my goal the whole year round. That's all I was thinking about the entire year. Worked a lot of my stroke rate and just like catching more water. I put a lot of strength on because I knew I didn't want to just barely get it. I wanted to see how much I could beat it by. And so I definitely had the best year of training I've ever had. And then I just went out there and did my thing.
Yeah, 53 high in that prelims race, and then you went 53.3 in finals. I mean, just absolutely astounding that you dropped so much time. And you said the strength training was good, but obviously on the day of the race, I mean, sometimes all the preparation you can do can go out of the window when you're just so nervous that you can't swim within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really curious how, I mean, like you said, you kind of had a feeling that I was there and I wasn't trying to add to your nervousness, but
yeah.
You know, you knew this moment was coming, this moment you've been dealing with and training for and working for a year. When you stood up on those blocks, how were you what self-talk were you giving? How were you able to, just be able to look down your lane and say, I know this is going to happen?
Well, so during high school season, we do a lot of like race training and practice and just sprints and stuff. And so my mindset going in was that I was ready for it because I'd done all the race training and I knew what I was going to feel like pretty much throughout the whole race. Like I knew what I was going to feel like when I was tired. And so I was sitting behind the blocks and I was just trying to keep at least for prelims, I was trying to keep my stress down. I was like, I know exactly what this is going to feel like. I know I've really done this race essentially hundreds of times in practice, just broken up so I wouldn't hurt as bad. But I just was making sure that I was thinking about how I was ready for it, and there was no question about it.
So you had other events that day, like the 2 a.m. and a couple other relays. How did you mentally prioritize each race, knowing like this is the biggest race? Like how did you mentally do that with knowing what was at stake?
So in prelims, my relays were pretty set to not struggle to make anything like less than top 3. So we didn't have to push like 100%. So I held back a little bit on both relays for prelims, and then I had the 2 a.m. and I just wanted to be like top seed or second, and so I just did like a somewhat relaxed. I still hurt, but a somewhat relaxed 2 a.m. So I could save a little bit of energy. So because I really wanted to break the 100 breast in prelims, so I wouldn't have any stress at finals. But so I think it worked out pretty well because I felt pretty good.
And so that finals race, you knew you set the record. So was there more pressure to see how low you can go, or was it the case of you just maybe getting too much nerves? Because you said it wasn't a better race than your prelims.
I'm not actually sure why I thought it was a better race. I think it was executed better. But at finals, I was less nervous for sure because I knew I'd done my goal and I was just trying to get out there and see what I could do. And then I brought my tempo up a little bit because I felt like I could, and it ended up working out. I didn't think I was looking at the splits the other day, and I was like, my last 25 was like 0.6 faster than it was in prelims, and that was the only really difference. So I think that's what it was.
So you got on a bus back to Kansas City. The meet was in St. Louis. You drove across state. You woke up the next morning. Tell us what you were thinking about, as you were reliving and analyzing your performances at the state meet.
Oh, for the next week or two, I was riding a wave. I was very happy. I was ecstatic, honestly. Everyone was congratulating me like at home. I was getting texts from all like my like cousins that I've never met and stuff like it was really cool. And so I was just at that point, I didn't really watch the video or anything too much. I just sat there. I kind of just enjoyed the moment.
Well, get ready for, I'm sure you're going to have this record for a long time. I can tell you that 28 years, it never goes away. You're always just wondering if this year is the year, and every year it goes by, the attention kind of returns to you a little bit more for the longevity. And I really think it's going to be a record you have for a long time. I know you're just going to demolish it this fall, your senior year.
That's the plan.
So have you thought about the national high school record? Because you're not too far from that.
I've definitely thought about it, and it's definitely written in my room a couple times. So it's there, and it's definitely something that I'm going for. But I don't want to put my expectation too high and force myself to do something. But I definitely think I have a 51 in me this year.
Does it seem weird to just say that you have a 5,100
Yeah,
breaststroke in you?
It does. A 53 doesn't even like if I look at the splits, it doesn't make sense. But I think I can. We'll see.
Yeah, just think there are people out there who are going 49 right now. So 51 is kind of small potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty spectacular to think you have that goal of 51. I think that's an amazing goal to have.
Thank
So
you.
this is, something that I know you were working for a year, but I mean, we're going to go back to even age group swimming. I'm curious, when did you decide that you wanted to be a breaststroker?
Oh, be a breaststroker. So I swam rec league, which was my like neighborhood league for the longest time. And I wasn't very good. I was like, I don't know, not that great, but breaststroke was always my best. And it was my favorite always. So I think that's kind of when I knew. And I was just like, probably like 10 or even younger than that. And I was like, well, I'm gonna be a breaststroker. And I think that's kind of when.
Yeah, we're a very rare breed of people who actually want to do breaststroke.
Mm-hmm.
And when did you start to believe that, that you could have some kind of a future beyond rec league swimming?
Oh, so I started swimming competitively the same time I was playing soccer in middle school. And then I was definitely better at soccer than I was at swimming when I quit soccer. I don't know why. I don't know why I was like, but I just knew swimming was definitely more for me than soccer was. I got bored. I was a goalie, and so I just sit there and I kick at the ground, and swimming kept me interested. So I knew what I wanted.
So since we swam together competitively on
Mhm.
Empire, and I've always admired just your work ethic and how hard you're able to go at practices, what would you say kind of helped you push yourself to get to that point that you are right now, to be the swimmer you are and the person you are today?
Well, to start off with, I'd like to thank my neighbor, Liam Brissett. He goes to ASU. He definitely got me into, he took me to school every day freshman year. And he really, because he's so fast. And so he kind of showed me what it took to be a fast swimmer and the work that he put in. So huge thank you to him for helping me know that I actually have to try every day, because before freshman year, swimming was just kind of a hobby. And then I was like, maybe I could be good at this. And he helped me push myself. So that's a big thing. And then just huge support system and a team that wants to see me get better. And that's pretty much it. Those guys just have helped me push for so many years now.
Swimming in the Kansas City area where you are has been always very competitive, have had a lot of superstars come from it. Olympians have come from there. Tell me what it feels like to be a part of that tradition that has fostered Olympians, national champions within that area, and how you hope to be able to contribute to that.
It's really cool. It's also so Empire split from Blazers 4 years back now, maybe more than that. And so it's kind of cool that I'm a little bit like paving our own path, because it's a new team. So I think it's cool that Kansas City has been so good for so long. But it's kind of fun that I'm on a brand new team, and I can pave my path from there.
So we've been talking about this 100-yard breaststroke, very fast times that you swam, and the goal that you have for this coming fall. But obviously out there in summer 2021 is the Olympic trials. You haven't yet qualified for it. And of course, this summer, you're not going to get any opportunities, unfortunately. But how much of that is your goal relative to your goal for your senior year of high school swimming?
So right now, my main goals that are written down are fall, but it definitely want to get to trials, obviously, and get that cut. And then I should be headed to Virginia for next summer. So I should be training with them for a couple months before I get there, which is going to be really exciting. And I think anything, even if I made a semifinal or something, that'd be the coolest thing ever. So especially 2021, when it's a little bit of an off year, I think it'd be sweet.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about picking Virginia. Obviously, with the times you've been putting up, you could have gone anywhere. I'm sure you had lots of offers. What was it about the Cavaliers that attracted you to them?
It was definitely the coaching staff. It was just the coaches there. You could just tell that it was going to be the spot that I was going to fit the best in. And I just really enjoyed the coaches. They really wanted me, and I just think I was going to have the most success there. So I picked them because I knew in my head that it was where I needed to be.
That's going to be great. When we're going to be very privileged to see that career continue out there in Charlottesville. Now, obviously, as you said, you were better in soccer than you were a swimmer, but you got bored. With excluding soccer, if you could pick any other sport to play, especially now, you're in quarantine, you can't swim right now. What sport would that be?
I'm gonna have to go with golf for sure, because it's a fun sport, and I think I could do it for a long time even after swimming. So
Well, you could do swimming for a long time too, but yes,
Yeah,
golf is very fun. It does take a different mindset than swimming.
completely different. They're not even similar in any way, shape, or form, which is why it's kind of fun.
Yeah, I'm sure it kind of takes you away from that on your, when you get back into swimming on your days off, I'm sure you're just going to be like, I just want a nice stress-free 18 rounds of golf.
Exactly.
That's going to be really good. Well, Daniel, thank you so very much for joining us today. Again, as I told you back in November, congratulations on breaking my record. It was an honor to watch, and I couldn't have asked for a better person to do it. And I'm looking forward to seeing how everything shape out in your senior year and even beyond that.
Thank you so much.
All right. So thank you everybody else for watching today. And as we always say, it's not just about the destination. It's always about the journey.